Jennifer, the McCain campaign has launched a series of robocalls or automated and pre-recorded phone calls to voters. Let's listen to one of them.
Hello, I'm calling for John McCain and the RNC because you need to know that Barack Obama has worked closely with domestic terrorist Bill Ayers.
Jennifer, why are they doing that?
Well, obviously because they think it's going to work, and they think that it's an important issue that goes directly to Barack Obama's judgment. And that's one of the main issues that people are going to be focusing on when they look at who's going to lead this country through the next 4 years, which obviously is going to be
Jennifer,
2 wars and an economic crisis.
If it is a judgment issue, then I wonder if you will take this opportunity to publicly denounce John McCain for saying that he would make Leonore Annenberg an ambassador. Mrs. Annenberg runs the Annenberg Foundation that founded an education initiative that Bill Ayers worked on.
I'm not familiar with it. It's the first time I've heard about it, so I'm not going to make any great statements at this moment. But I can tell you. But anybody who's associated with Bill Ayers should be condemned then, right? Well, I think anybody who says who started their political campaign in the guy's living room, an unrepented domestic terrorist who in 2001 said he wished he would have bombed more. I think it's an important judgment issue that the American people need to be aware of as they look at who they want their next president to be.
I understand, but as far as somebody who gives millions of dollars to that very foundation to help Bill Ayers after 2001, they should be kept then from an ambassadorship, right?
Yeah, again, this is the first I've ever heard about this issue. I wish you would have brought it up before I came on the air, and I would have been happy to look into it, but I'm not familiar with it, so there's not much I'm going to be able to say on it.
Chris, your view on whether the Bill Ayers attacks are working?
Well, it's another desperate act by an increasingly pathetic campaign. I mean, the part that I find so interesting is when you talk about these kind of cheap shot gutter attacks that are coming from the McCain campaign, it's almost like they don't look at the polls or even have focus groups. We've seen the consequences when John McCain goes negative. It hurts his campaign every single time. I mean, it seems like they're going out of their way to flush their campaign down the toilet, and the reality is Joe the plumber ain't going to save it. I mean, this is not a smart strategy. They keep following it, and that's fine. I guess that's the prerogative, but it keeps blowing up in their face. It's not what voters want. Voters want real serious discussion about the issues. That's what they're seeing from Barack Obama.
You know, which is exactly what, I don't know if anybody paid attention to what John McCain said today in Florida, but he had a wonderful speech where he talked about exactly what he wants to do to turn this economy around, which is to make sure that everyone is getting a tax cut right now. It's amazing when you hear what Barack Obama is saying, and that's what people need to do. When they hear Barack Obama, he's an amazing public speaker, but you need to listen to what's in those details. When he talks about taxing, tax cuts for 95% of the American people, guess what? Not everybody pays income tax. So what happens? The people that are paying into this, being taxed higher, are actually going to be giving money to people that aren't even taxed. That's welfare. That's that's redistribution of wealth. Those are things that are inherently un-American. And I think that those are the issues when people really pay attention to the two candidates are going to really make the difference on Election Day.
Well, the problem with the McCain campaign is they don't talk about the issues.
It's exactly what he spent hours talking about all day today. He was just down in Florida. That's exactly what his speech was about.
But Sarah Palin said
and the other thing about it all is that when there are all these robocalls that are out there in the ether, and we're not talking about a few robocalls, but literally hundreds of thousands of people, Jennifer, are getting those robocalls. It's not about necessarily tax policy. A large number of them are about the Bill Ayers stuff, and I just sort of wonder if it's sort of a mixed message.
The part of the call that you didn't bother to continue to play was talking about when it comes to Barack Obama's judgment, when he said he would meet without condition with foreign leaders such as Ahmadinejad, Kim Jong-il, the Castro brothers.
This
is something that Joe. No, it's actually the same call. It's the second line. Yeah, it's just one that we don't seem to be talking about today.
No,
but
that's a
those are
separate
go to
judgment from the one about Bill Ayers. But in any case, Jennifer Millerwise-Dyk, Republican strategist, and Chris Kofinis, Democratic strategist. Thank you both for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.